Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Derksen 5000 with we are driving the Koenigsegg. Yeah, they go very fast. I am very attractive, and with me, as always, is the only reclusiarch of the Tyranids, Magas.
They really wouldn't have a need for Koenigsegg.
That's the joke.
Trying to think of what Space Marine roles would actually work. We're basically the librarian. The librarians totally work. Anyways, we are here at Lausitzring for the finale of the ESR Manufacturers Cup. And the deal with this series has been all at Lausitzring, so all around this lovely, space-aged, I hate it, facility. And each time around, it is a different car and a different layout of the track. So this layout is the oval turn 1 layout. And as Byron has pointed out, we have Koenigseggs, which are one of the strongest, most powerful car in the game that is a tin top. So this should be fun. Sambala Steve, Bertrand Barrier, Tobias Thierolf, Martin Edmonds, Magic Kaschuk. Your top 5 at the moment. Edmonds and Thierolf are fighting over the title, which is a little bit surprising. I wouldn't have thought Edmonds would be the guy in here, but I guess the whole changing to a different car each week probably does play to his advantage. And who's running the green car? We got a couple. We got Thierolf, we got Davidson, we got Ralph Bart, we got DeBaum running it. So there you go.
No Gulf oil, no deal.
I don't think that there is a Gulf oil.
Shut it down. Shut it down. It's no good.
So Tobias Thierolf has won 3 races this season. Martin Edmonds has won 2 races this season. We got 2 25-minute races here today. Other race winners have been Bertrand Barrier, as well as John Barker and Anthony Willis. I believe that was Anthony Willis's first ESR win.
It's the first one that I remember ever remembering.
Whoa, Magic Kaschuk getting all kinds of squirrely out of the pits.
Cobalt. So I have a funny story about Cobalt, since we've got like an hour to kill here before the warm-up even starts.
Yeah, we got 2.5 minutes, but go ahead.
So in high school, my brother and his friend Ben had chemistry class with Mr. Yee. It was Mr. Yee and Mr. Lee, and I had Mr. Lee for English, and he sucked. Or no, for math, and he sucked. And I guess Mr. Yee was no more scintillating than Mr. Lee. And so one day, Ben, who would just randomly say stuff, is in the back of the class, bored out of his mind, and almost falling asleep at his desk, and suddenly just raises his head up and is like, Mr. Yee, what's Cobalt used for? And Mr. Yee is now thoroughly derailed in whatever the fuck he was saying and writing up on the board, and goes into reset mode, kind of like a boot loop. And he just sit there for apparently for a good full minute, just Cobalt, 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 and he apparently just did that for a minute, and then I guess Ben's like, "Oh, whatever, never mind."
I see.
And it was just like the most random. And it was like a legit, like they're in chemistry class. You could just legitimately ask that question.
It's a legitimate question.
Which was kind of the best technique ever, I guess. He wasn't doing anything randomly very disruptive, just kind of. At least they weren't setting their books on fire again.
All of our chemistry teachers in my high school were actually pretty cool. One did teach us how to blow up the school, so, there is that.
No, my dad taught us how to do that when we were much younger.
No, I mean, like, he literally gave a question on the exam that the answer was how much magnesium catalyst you would need to blow up the school. And he gave us the answer for free on the last day of class before the exam. He's like, so only 6 of you showed up, so I'm going to give you guys a free answer on the exam here. He goes up to the board, starts drawing up like a diagram and some chemical formulas and stuff, and he's like, And he's like, the question is, how much magnesium would you need to act as a catalyst to cause a chemical reaction that would cause an explosion that would destroy a building of these dimensions? And he's drawing on the board, and then underneath the diagram he says, yes, this is the school.
Jose Pena in the S.
The bomb having a little bit of a moment there. Dominique Noel. You got me all excited, Dominique, because there's another racer I raced with whose name was D Noel. So I just saw the D Noel part. But then I looked at the flag and realized, no, this guy's French. And the guy I know is from South Africa. So, not the same guy. And his name was not Dominique.
South Africa is basically French.
It's like a mix of Dutch, French, and English.
Which is basically French.
A little bit of German, too.
Jawohl. Und sind Sie geht Koenigsegg.
Grid forming up here for race number 1. Should be a good one. These Koenigseggs generally breed a fair bit of chaos and challenge for our drivers. Oh, rolling start. Oh, boy. Here we go. Sambala Steve leading us to the line. Bertrand Barrier on the front row. Martin Edmonds, Tobias Thierolf. Row 2 and fighting for the championship. On board with Martin. Hey, we got our boy, Byron. He's starting in 16th place, but he's here.
It's your boy Corn?
Nah, better than Corn. It's your boy Mauricio.
Oh, Mauricio.
And here we go. Edmonds got off to a bit of a bad start. He's got a car on his inside there. Probably going to lose the 4th place. Maybe not. Keeps it. He's behind Sambala Steve. Bertrand Barrier and Tobias Thierolf still side by side for the lead between Steve and Barrier. Barrier backing out of that one. Rounding up for top 5, we got Kazchuk, Dennis Johnson, John Barker, James Butler, Scott Nick, and Steve Davidson, your top 10. On board with Tobias Thierolf. The Gronk's 4th outfielder, Tobias Thierolf. Oh, car off in the background. Beep. That is John Barker dropping back through the order.
Is it true that they use actual blocks of ice for the tires on these cars?
That would be a bad idea. A stunningly bad idea. Also, I'm recording this in OBS, so give me a second to turn that off.
Disgusting. I will not give you even 1 second to turn that off.
My start recording button for both TeamSpeak and OBS is the same button. I just normally don't have OBS open. But I did a podcast on the mixed martial arts event for the UFC coming up this Saturday.
Well, it's been canceled.
It's a really weird card. It's like one of those cards where, like, if everything just goes just right, it's going to kick ass. But a couple things go wrong and it's going to suck really bad. Edmonds, 4th place, still on the tail of Tobias Thierolf. It is pretty important that he beat Thierolf here. Payne up into the top 10. Noel, Zachariasen. John Barker, James Butler, Steve Davidson, all falling backwards.
But why?
Well, we saw why for John. I don't know about the other two, but John lost control of the car.
Fair enough.
Actually, something interesting happened with the picks today, Byron. This is the first UFC card that I picked 0 underdogs.
That might be the wisest thing you've ever done.
Not really. Sometimes the underdogs really don't make any sense.
Sometimes the underdogs eat hot dogs.
I swear there's like one underdog on every UFC card that like just should not be an underdog. And I just found myself scratching my head going like, not only am I picking this guy or girl, but I am like incredibly confident that they are going to win too.
And then you wager all of your Dogecoin upon it.
Nope.
What?
I don't do any betting right now.
What?
Well, till I get a solid job. Gambling betting is not anything.
Well, I do need a few people killed.
It's not a solid job. That's
Pays
more
well.
like, that's more like occasional work.
I'll give you $13.
Unless I'm just unless I'm just underestimating your hatred.
Oh no! I mean, if I just
side by side action here between Steve Davidson and Dominic Noel for 11th place. Steve Dave coming back through the pack from whatever it was that took him out of the top 10.
Come hunt them down and whack them with a shovel. When they wake up, and make them dig their own grave with the shovel.
And around the outside he goes, but he's off track. Can he hang on? I think he hung on. Looks like we have lost James Butler. He is a lap down to everybody. At the front, it is still Sembala Steve leading a French 1-2 with Bertrand Barry. Zachariasen has slipped back to 12th place. There's something happening there. Mauricio Delgado losing a spot to John Barker. Somebody in the wall. Appears to be Dominique Noel. Falling to the back of the pack. Jose Pena takes 7th place from your boy, Scott Nick.
Big Dick Scott Nick.
At least for the time being, he is successful.
I find it hard to believe anybody gets past him because all he has to do is lean slightly and it hangs out the window.
Well, you didn't do that. John Barker. John Barker, we've seen you off a couple of times. It looks like the Koenigsegg maybe not his strongest car. Still in 2nd place. Bertrand Barrier has undoubtable speed. Like, undeniable. Can't question it. It's just a matter of keep the car pointed the right direction for him. Keep it clean. Don't make mistakes. And good results will probably come. I do think he has a high ping to the servers. I think part of his problem is just, pure hardware problems. He's putting the pressure on Sembala Steve.
Is this a wax the modem to make it go faster situation?
I don't think that would really help all that much, although maybe unplugging the modem before a race is a good idea. I know that my modem, the Bell modem, at least that you get out here in Ontario, is notorious for being an overheating bastard.
Might I recommend keeping it in the fridge?
I think that would probably be a better idea.
Only if you get humidity on it, so keep it in a bag.
I just unplug it about an hour before a race and plug it back in. Usually it's fine.
And throw it in the freezer. Maybe a layer of cobalt would help.
I usually want to go out for a walk before a race anyway, so it's not like I'm going to be using it. Because getting the legs a good stretch out before a race is a very advisable idea.
And is that also when you down the liter of vodka to help your reflexes?
No, that doesn't help the reflexes.
What do you mean? You don't even have to think. You just do.
That just dulls the pain.
You just react like an animal.
Tran going down the inside. He's had a couple of looks here through the oval section. Let's get it done here. Side by side with Sembala Steve. See, I think the problem is he's coming out of that. He's coming out of the oval on the inside line, and he's out of the slipstream, so he's losing top end speed against St. Paul Steve. So Steve, I think, is getting back into this.
Good old Sambuca Steve.
I have a deep, deep hatred for Sambuca.
I remember the first time I tried Sambuca, and everybody thought it was going to be a huge prank. Joke's on them. I love black licorice. I was like, that is delicious. Not only did I not freak out or go, oh my god, the good thing, but I was rather enthusiastic, and everybody was just flabbergasted. It was
I think the only time anyone was dumb enough to think a prank on me would work in that kind of sense was someone found a pepper, some like really spicy pepper, and they threw it in my coleslaw of all things. I'm eating it, and I guess they're waiting for a reaction, waiting for it. I finished the whole bowl. I'm like, that was really good, and they're like, where's the reaction? I'm like, what reaction? To what? They're like, we stuck a whole fucking like crazy pepper in there. Oh, like I said,
should have used it.
My greatest prank to date is entirely unintentional, actually. I brought a bottle of Slievitz to my friend Kevin's residence when he was in school. And I left it there for him, like, hey, you can have this. And apparently, I get a phone call, I got a text message like the next day after I've left. And he's like, you've gotten Slievitz banned from a porch crawler. I'm like, why would you put it in a porch crawler?
Oh my god.
It's gonna take over. And it did. So I didn't even try. Got a nice one. Barrier has slipped back to 4th place, and I don't know why. I wish we got that on camera. He is behind Theorol from Edmonds now. Magnus Zachariasen is up into the top 10, chasing down Deep Bomb.
You shall fear Ultra Magnus.
Ultra Magnus was one of my favorite Transformers.
Not great in the movie. He's just kind of
Captain
Whitebread.
Did not do a good job with him in the movie. Although the follow-up movie was pretty good.
It's pretty funny. My friend Chris, who comes over to watch movies, he had never seen the animated Transformers movie from the 80s. So, like, you're going to enjoy this, and every song on this soundtrack is an absolute fucking banger. Get ready.
Jose Paint, you're rejoining from a spin. Looks like we've lost Steve Davidson as well as Dominique Noel. Wouldn't surprise me if Dominique Noel DNF'd off that hard contact he had with the ball. And looks like Zachariasen has actually moved it past Dive Bomb, and Dive Bomb's also lost a spot to Ralph Bart.
Ralphie Bart's. Ralphie Bartolo Colon.
So we got a Bart's. Now we need a Fisky. We need a Yorkie. And we need a Boomtown.
Boomtown. My name is Jim.
I need that guy to be in more stuff, actually, because like the comparison between him as Boomtown and him as the dude he played in The Expanse, night and day. So that guy's got some range.
I do not remember him from The Expanse.
You remember when Amos and Peaches are escaping the prison?
Yeah.
He's the big muscly dude.
I don't remember there being a big muscle. I just remember that they were escaping, and there were a couple of quips that happened, and that's about it.
He was tiny. He assaulted Amos at the end. And then got suplexed down a freaking or an elevator shaft. I can't believe you forgot that scene.
He suplexed down a mine shaft. I would have at least 2 nickels.
I can't believe you forget the suplex down the elevator shaft, to be honest. That was a pretty awesome scene. That was top notch. Dennis Johnson, Slim Jim, Macho Man Randy Savage Racing.
Ooh, yeah.
we're still running in 12th place after a couple of moments. He seems fine. I think we can confirm that Davidson and Noel are indeed out of the race. James Butler. We've lost 3, and we have 13 going.
The first Noel to quit the race.
Well, the first to quit the race was Mr. Butler. Butler trying.
But that was Butler's not named Noel. Not talking about the first Butler. First Butler killed a guy with a candlestick in the library.
Please, sir. It was the Centenarian. That was the location.
Smoking some Sensibilia in the Centenarium.
Why do I now suddenly go back to the first time I ever stepped foot in Joel's mansion? Yes, mansion, not house, mansion. I believe I became very aware of like exactly how big this house was going to be when the butler answered the door and was, Mr. Joel, we'll see you in the ballroom. There's a ballroom?
It's where he takes his pants off.
No, it's not. That's the indoor pool. They had an Olympic-sized indoor pool. It was big. I was warned beforehand. Don't get me wrong that this house was going to be big. It was going to be an experience. And we pulled up, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't look so big. And then Fraser, who was driving, he just turns to me and just goes, that's the guardhouse. I'm like, oh, no. That's the kind of big we're going for here. Okay. Mauricio Delgado on the tail of D-Bum. Slip back to 12th place. Jose Pena on the tail of Skotnik. Skotnik in the ice liveried car. Pena in one of the green and white. Not sure what the title sponsor of that one is. We got the Cobalt car, we got the ice car, and we got the Wix car, which is the green and white. Oh, the Wix car I think is green and white. And then there's the yellow and black.
Still John Wick's car? I've seen how that ends.
It doesn't end well. Jose Pena. I understand you struck my son.
Yes, sir. Yes, I did.
Inside move here from Pena. Maybe slingshot out of the oval section and looking for the inside line. Can we not go to Mauricio right now? Like, don't get me wrong. Give Mauricio some time on the camera, but we had an overtake in progress there that was made successfully by Mr. Jose Pena in the camera.
Don't listen to him. Get out there, Mauricio. Do your thing.
No, if Mauricio goes for an overtake on Dive Bomb, I want to see it. But I would prefer to see Pena complete that overtake on Skyline for 7th place. I still contend that scene with I understand you struck my son is the best exposition introduction of character of all time.
Correct. I've shown John Wick to many of people, and I'm like, here's all you need to know.
Oh, Mauricio off track. Is the Braymount sponsored car. Okay, I think the Wix car is the yellow and black one. And in the second movie, also pretty good when the brother of the
Peter motherfucking Stormare.
Yeah, Peter Stormare's character is just like, it's like he killed a man with a pencil, a fucking pencil.
A man of sheer fucking will.
It's always interesting when someone does like a complete bit part like that, where like Stormare's in like one scene in that movie. And recently I've been watching a show called Titans, DC extended universe. And there's an episode where there's a character that does not show his face the whole episode, and at the end of the credits, I'm like, that was Brendan Fraser.
Well, the third season, I don't think I'm spoiling anything if you haven't watched the Hannibal show by now. God damn it, do it. But I mean, it took me most of the third season to figure out that the Red Dragon dude was also Thor and Oakenshield. In my defense, he doesn't have any prosthetic facial stuff on.
Yeah, that's a fair one to miss.
But the voice is the same. You'd think I would have clued the fuck in, but no. And he's on screen. I could see him the whole time.
I will say Hollywood, and by Hollywood I mean just like media in general, needs to stop using Alan Ritchson in roles and having people like walk up to him and talk smack, because that's not realistic. You take one look at that man and you do not walk up on him. Man is massive.
You sidle up at best. Mauricio Delgado, you've been disqualified?
Holy shit. You beg his forgiveness. Wrong way on the track. Still getting the black flag.
Dang.
Good.
Mauricio hardcore with the black flag.
I need Henry Rollins to get the black flag to Mauricio.
Just runs out on the track and jams it through your windshield. Ah!
Barrier putting the pressure on Martin for third place, the final spot on the podium. Got some other battles going on. Magnus Zachariason's all over the back of Scott Nick for 8th place. That's a closely contested fight as Bertrand does take that 3rd spot. Martin did not fight terribly hard for that. I guess thinking about race number 2, still wants to be in the championship hunt. Down the field here for any other particularly good battles going on. Not really, with 12 cars running still. Di Baum, John Barker, Ralph Bart, all pretty much on their own right now. Jose Pena is pretty much on his own right now. Dennis Johnson, Magic Kashuk. So it's really this battle for 8th place here between the ice livery car of Scott Nick and the cobalt livery car Magnus Zachariason.
Come on. How about them Cowboys? That's what I thought you'd say.
I don't always have a response to your insanity.
That's not true.
From Scott Nick. It was a little bit unneeded, to be honest. I think Zachariason was quite close enough to make a move into the over there.
What about the heptagon?
Oh, contact!
Hey! Ultra Magnus has
that
lost
will probably end up. Well, this is an unstewarded race, I believe. I was going to say this is going to end up before the stewards, but this is an unstewarded race. And Ralph Bart says, "Thank you very much. I'll take 9th place." And Zachariason pulls the plug. He retires the car. That was a little bit cheeky, I think, by Scott Nick.
That is possible. He is a rather cheeky man.
Kind of edged over there into Zachariason's lane. think, kind of invited that contact. Didn't make it on his own. Zachariasen could have avoided the contact, but a bit of bullying tactics, a little bit of the old Ayrton Senna. If you want to overtake me, we're gonna have contact. Philosophy of defense there. Tobias Thierolf is chipping away at Sam Bolestein. Gap is down to 0.8 of a second, but that being said, he's only going to have one lap after this to get it done. So I think he is going to run out of time.
And fuel.
Background. Well, I hope not fuel.
The Koenigsegg burns 93 liters of fuel per second.
Probably not nearly that much.
Most of the time, if you're not sitting down in a particular area, it is full of fuel.
Also, whenever you do that voice, I'm just thinking of Lars from the audiobook I'm listening to. He's the techno pig.
Interesting.
Slash Viking. Slash drunk. Slash heavy metal vocalist.
Well, I got some of that down, so I could be that guy.
You literally are, his introduction in the book is literally him and an alien doing a duet of Berserker. Well, two of the techs play. One of the techs plays drums, and one of the techs plays guitar. His last scene so far is well, he's not even in the scene, but it's the captain of the unit going, "Now, what do you do when the good idea fairy comes to give you a little bit of whisper in the ear? I come to you? No, you go to Lars. And if you can convince that Viking that it's a good idea, then you come to me." Drive-through penalty for Ralph Bart. Ignoring slow down warnings. That's not good. He was about 10 seconds ahead of John Barker, so I don't know why he would be ignoring those. That'll promote Barker to 9th place and also Dot Bomb into the top 10. So it's a bit of a needless penalty there, in my opinion, in my estimation. And your race winner is Sam Bolestein. I think that's the first time we've seen Sam Bolestein take a race win. So congratulations to him.
Good old Sam Steve.
I can confirm that was his first win in this series. His best result previously was 3rd. Joining him on the podium, it will be Tobias Thierolf and Bertrand Barrier, Martin Edmonds, Magic Kaschuk, Dennis Johnson, Jose Pena, Scott Nick. Ralph Bart will finish 9th on track, but he will drop down to 11th place unless he was able to get a lap on Dive Bomb, which you might have.
Several laps shall be used in the making of this video.
Scott Nick bringing him home in 8th place. Got away with a little bit of cheekiness. Comes John Barker, soldiering home after a really rough start to the race. Brings it home in 10th place, which will turn into a 9th place. Bart does stay ahead of Dive Bomb, who finished a lap down. And now we move on to race number 2 with some form of reverse grid, and I don't necessarily know how many it is.
It'll be a reverse 93 grid.
Hopefully we still have a solid grid to pick from.
It will take several hours for the first non-existent 90-odd drivers to, or 80-odd drivers to go.
Ooh, Halloween sale, 20% off.
Ha-cha-cha, that's a lot of Halloween.
Hopefully everyone had a good Halloween.
Mine was the best. I sat at home.
partook in much of the discount candy afterwards, I assume.
Indeed. Well, I did drop by the Slav Levin, and they had little bags and boxes of multi-pack candies and chocolates, and now I possess those.
That's good. Hopefully, we're getting a practice session right now, but hopefully this will cut over to... There we go. So we got about 2 minutes to fill here before the race, and I don't know. Do we have anything pressing to talk about? Anything that people would be interested in?
Let us rank all sexual deviant political leaders throughout history.
Ooh, we'd be at that for a while. That's more than 2 minutes out.
Speedrun Caligula.
History March is doing a special on the failure of Napoleonic tactics in Russia.
I have an issue with them is that they will put up several parts of one war or whatever, or a campaign or something, or series of wars with one guy as the general, and I just won't watch them. And then they'll drop like the super cut, which is usually like an hour and a half to 2 hours of all the parts smashed together. Gotcha. And then that's too long, and I don't watch that either.
How is that a problem though? Like
it's like, why am I still subscribed?
I guess I'm asking, what is the solution to this game?
I don't know. It's just I wish they'd put them out more often. Like, if you're gonna do a 7-part series on something, give them to me every other day. Like, keep me current.
That would work.
Once a week ain't doing it for me, homie. I'm not going to remember battle number 1 7 weeks down the line. Steve Dave trying the NASCAR special with the ride the wall technique. Was very funny as shit. That was hilarious, and everybody in that race thought it was hilarious too. Like, did he really just do that?
Welcome to oval racing. It can sometimes be weird and wacky and wonderful.
That man really just said, "This works in the video game. Here we go." Apparently, that's where he got it from. That's something like a technique they use in NASCAR video games. Is just use the wall to ride around.
Indeed.
Very funny. All right, Mike. It's time for you to favor us with your rendition of Final Countdown by Europe.
Oh, no, you don't want that.
Well, I don't. But I'm sure somebody out there will...
Maybe John Barker, but that's about it. That man has strange ears. He might want to get a doctor to look at them. He enjoys my singing.
You know what? All right, we're going to start a GoFundMe right now. We're going to get Mike some metal singing lessons to see where we can take this. We'll get him do the death growls. We'll get some pig squealies in there. It'd be awesome.
Never really been a fan of the death growls myself.
I don't think you've got a future in power metal myself. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but
that's a shame. Power metal is my jam.
Power metal is awesome, but you will not be running to the hills. We would honestly just be running for our lives.
Yes, you would.
Although one of the funniest things
I don't know why, but a Genesis song just got stuck in my head.
Is it House by the Sea?
It's The Knife.
The Knife.
Here we go. Round number 2. Dive bomb starting on poles. I believe it's a full reverse grid. John Barker for second. Scott Nick in third place at the moment, going side by side with Dennis Johnson. That position, Magic Kashuk is fifth. R.A. Edmonds, Sembala Steve, Tobias Thierolf, and Steve Davidson.
Kill him, Steve Dave.
Looks like we've only got 10 cars, but there may be more. Oh, Lord. Oh, big spin out for Dennis Johnson. They went 3 or 4 wide there, and Johnson ended up paying the price. So we have more than 10 cars. We have more than 10 cars running. So we have that glitch on the tower where some of the cars are getting cut off. Which has happened.
Monsieur Baquier from extreme northern Normandy. Your boy Sambal Oleg getting a little spicy in the corners.
Indeed. He's fought his way up into third place after winning race number 1. So he's doing solid work. John Barker putting the pressure on. Dive bomb. Oh, I say that, and he gets a little bit squirrely.
Squirrel. You all down for some squirrel frequency? What?
John Barker. You think John can do it this time?
Hell yeah. He's going to listen to Bark at the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne the whole time.
We're going to find out if John Barker can calm the Koenigsegg down. And under immense pressure from Sambala Steve, who is looking for that double.
Uh-oh.
He's had a taste of the top step, and he would like to find it again. Mauricio Delgado up to 7th place.
I was going to say, Mauricio Delgado easily doubling his previous performance. Well done, sir.
Well, considering it was 0 last time.
Shut up!
Johnson has recovered actually to be pretty close to the lead battle. Sambal Steve going down the inside. John Barker with the squeeze.
He's trying to bundle himself right along.
Oh boy. This could be an open door for Bertrand Barrier, and I think it is. I think Barrier might get both. Gets none. Tough one there. John Barker going side by side with Sambal Steve. Martin Edmonds saying, "Gentlemen, would you mind if I cut in?" And Barker does lose out to Sambal Steve just off camera there.
And here they come, 19 wide through the third corner.
Last Thierolf at the back of the pack there. Or this particular pack, I should be clear. It's running in 6th place. Trying to hang it around the outside there of Thierolf, but can't make it happen. Thierolf has 5th place. And that's pretty important when it comes to the championship. Because it is those two battling over that crown. Contact there, Barrier, as well as, dive bomb with a super unsafe rejoin there.
Maybe he dive bombed them on purpose.
Well, he didn't do the dive bomb. What he did do is unsafely rejoin the track. Another car there. Dennis Johnson up to 7th place. So John Barker moves into 2nd. Martin Edmonds randomly goes from 5th place to 6th place to the lead. Sambal Steve still 3rd, followed by Thierolf, Barrier, Davidson, Johnson, Nick, Delgado, and Barker. messy there, but we're still more or less proceeding. Apologies for the lack of comments. I'm a little gassy at the moment.
Wow. That's the kind of heavily useful reporting I love to hear.
It's the hard-hitting investigative journalism you can expect from these commentaries.
Holy shnikes. Word on the street is that Sambuca Steve is kind of okay at driving the car.
He's having a very successful day. He's gotten past John Barker, SS Bertrand Barrier. They've moved into second and third place behind Mark Evans. Let's see if they can hang on. Or if they can get past him. Awesome. With Sambala Steve, race 1 winner. Looking to make a double. Has anyone pulled off the doubles?
Yes.
Let's see here. Not in race 1, not in round 2. Round 3, nope. Round 4, nope. Round 5, nope. Round 6, pardon me, this is round 5. Right, round 3 was like three races, which was very confusing.
Is that the one where I wasn't allowed to do commentary?
That's round 2. No, I think I did. No, you're right. I think I did round 3 solo.
It's like, you're not allowed. Why? No,
I didn't say you weren't allowed. I said I was just
Good
gonna
point.
do it. I was just gonna do it solo to fit in the schedule.
He told me I was banned.
I did not.
Banned from commentary.
I did not.
Just because I'm a fan of stuff.
I don't even know what you'd be a fan of that would cause me to ban it.
Booze.
It works. Sir, I love booze.
Smoked meat.
I love smoked meat.
Well, then I don't know. We're fine then.
I feel like we have no major disagreements, really, in terms of passions.
Other than your weird fanboyism of insert blatantly not good fighter here.
I mean, there are not good fighters that I do definitely have fanboys.
Ironhead.
Most people I've met.
We can all agree that Ironhead...
Misha Serkinov, having just been cut by the UFC, probably is my not so good fighter.
Fair enough. But he looks good doing it.
Actually, if we're being honest, my not good fighter fandom is Wojciech Kozłowski.
Wow.
Because he's like 0-7. It's just that, like, he's 0-7 against 7 actually notable fighters.
You're just gonna diss Chase Gormley like that?
I'm not really a fan of Chase Gormley in any way, shape, or form.
Exactly.
Also, he's got some critical problems.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Bertrand Barrier going side by side with Sambala Steve. Sends him wide. This should be second place. Yeah, it is. He gets it done. Good pass. Martin Edmonds still with the lead. Followed led by Bertrand Barrier now. Sambal, Steve, Tobias there. John Barker still hanging on to 5th. Ahead of Dennis Johnson and Scott Nick. That is Magic Kazchuk having a bit of a rough rejoin.
My cabbages.
Showing some significant damage on the front of the car, and pit stop is not really an option in a 25-minute race. So he'll be feeling a little bit more like he's driving a truck than a high-end sports car for the remainder of today's festivities. Bertrand Barrier going for the race lead here against Martin Edmonds. He's got the inside line. Haven't really seen that move work today. Moves ahead and stays ahead. You didn't get to see it on camera, but it did happen. Mauricio Delgado looking down the inside of Scott Nick. Nothing new over here at the moment. It's up on him and John Barker. Dennis Johnson has gotten past Barker for 5th place. Barker has fallen back way behind him, so I suspect that there was either contact or a mistake by Barker involved in that overtake. Edmonds trying to get back at Bertrand Barrier, but is on the outside of this turn. Which is probably not going to make that stick.
Well, he probably would if he used more super glue.
Wrong kind of stick.
I'm just going to get a stick and beat
a little bit of
up.
RG Barty there, and Martin goes into lead, and Tobias Thierolf overtakes Sambal Steve. That last turn seems to be like where the action is happening. We've had 2 changes in lead. And Thierolf is not done with Sambal Steve. So he's coming back at him. Barrier coming back at Martin Edmonds, looking for the lead again. Martin hangs on. 12 minutes to go. Approximately, we're talking 2, 4, 6, 8 laps.
Deploy the caltrops.
So, 4-way fight for victory here, still going on. These 4 drivers have been very close in pace today. Stretches out a little bit otherwise, although Mauricio Delgado and Scott Nick are still battling over south, and they're not too far away from 6th place John Barker. Again, can Barrier get the job done against Martin? He's ahead, and that is going to be the race lead. Back in the hands of the Frenchman.
Oh, what if I told you that the French, they drive the car and they go boom?
That's strictly true.
Sometimes, well, I mean, the government, they pass the law, and then we got to go set the fire to the car.
True. not checked out the recent Jericho Appreciation Society versus Blackwell Combat Club wrestling film. Drive-through penalty for John Barker.
Banned.
It proves that two incredibly talented wrestlers can still screw up a spot, because basically the spot is Chris Jericho's in the middle of the ring. Claudio comes off of the top rope to hit nothing. He lands short, and then just does a European uppercut to Jericho.
I heard that
Davidson having a little bit of a spin.
I heard that Claudio is actually back in the Wobbly Wobbly B.
Nope. He's in AEW. He's currently the reigning pure ROH Pure Champion.
Oh, okay.
And is most likely going to challenge Chris Jericho for the ROH World Title.
Well, maybe they just allowed him to do some sort of a special appearance because there was something to do with the Irish guy. Sheamus had some sort of a weird thing going on, and I guess Claudio showed up.
I'm unaware of this, but I'm not terribly up to date with the WWE product.
Fair enough. I saw it flashed across the screen by Bleacher Report. Didn't really make a lot of sense, but that's Bleacher Report.
I don't even really know what you would need that for, because I mean, Sheamus has got his own stable right now, the Brawling Brutes, with Ridge Holland and Butch, who is, of course, Pete Dunne.
Peter Dune. Says the guy that's not up on the Wobbly Wobbly B.
Well, that's a stable that's been around for quite some time. It's actually gone through its heel phase, and now it's into a face phase.
Yeah, very nice.
They're feuding with Imperium, which is the faction of Gunther, Kaiser, and Vinci, which is Fabian Eichner, Bartel, and of course Walter.
So it's like does Bruder Shafty Cruises all over again. Speaking of, God damn it! Why can my brain not retain the knowledge of words and names? Quackenbush's outfit. Chikara. There you go. God damn it! Is Quackenbush still with also the Wobbly Wobbly B?
No, I don't think he is.
He's doing a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff for years with them. Which probably all came to nothing because Vince probably shut it all down.
I think he was purged in the same purge that took out Alice in Danger.
Wow! Is that just because he's very attractive?
Ooh, disqualified for ignoring drive-through penalty. John Barker!
Dang.
What up, John? You making us look bad here.
Homie barked at the moon one too many times.
Looks like we've lost Ralph Bart and Steve Davidson and have only 8 cars still. Tobias Theerolf going around the outside of Sambala Steve. Steve will hang on. Third place. Because of the drop scores, I can't really give you a running idea of who's winning the championship right now. I assume it's still Theerolf. We'll find out. Find out come to the end of this. Still running in second place. Came in today with a chance to win the title. Chasing, I believe, his 3rd trip to victory lane here this season. They're looking for an outside move there, but nothing coming of it.
No, apparently Chikara's all shut down.
Yeah.
I did not know that, and you didn't say it when I asked, so that makes it really weird now.
I think they're talking about trying to refinance and trying to get it going.
Fair enough.
It's been down for a little bit anyways.
Apparently, he's also been accused of inappropriate language.
Indeed.
Harden up, motherfuckers, I guess. Or are we talking about, like, racist language?
I think one of the possibilities is racist language, but there were a couple of accusations that came out around the time Shikara went into hibernation.
Yeah.
And really, I think it's more or less a thought of, like, talent trying to get some cash out of the deal.
Yeah.
It just everyone's kind of like, that doesn't really sound like Quackenbush.
Yeah. Inappropriate language. What did he call you, a motherfucker? Cry about it. Go in the corner and cry about it for a while.
Martin Evans still running in second, trying to take that win off of Bertrand Barrier. Has Barrier won a race through this particular series? Yes, he has. He was one of the winners back at round 2.
Apparently Mike Quackenbush trained somebody who went under the name of Estonian Thunderfrog. That is tremendous.
I don't remember who that was. Oh,
No
Martin
idea.
go for the lead. The door was opened by Bertrand Barrier, and Martin did not need a second invitation. Barrier not giving up on it, though. Defensive line for Martin into the oval. See if Barrier can come back at him. Also battle on for third between Sambal Steve and Tobias Thirolf. Everything else is somewhat sorted out. There is still a minor chance that Mauricio Delgado can get a magic cash jump, about 2.5 seconds back. We'll see.
Alright. Estonian Thunderfrog, aka Atomic Super Thunderfrog, aka Estonian Farmer Frog, aka Thunderfrog, Super Thunderfrog, Jordan, Jamal Kills, and Chaos 300. That's a lot of gimmicks, sir.
Well, Chicago.
Correct. Apparently, largely freelancer, never kind of went anywhere.
Lap we go. Martin's still in the lead. Barrier, Sambal Steve, Tobias Thirolf, all still within realistic hope. Taking home victory here in race number 2. The season finale.
Set them all on fire.
Also do like we have one of each livery battling out for the lead, actually. That's pretty cool. Can Martin hang on? Can he make this happen? That last turn is probably where we're going to see it decided, because it's been decided there a couple of times, to be honest. Just because this is one of those rare times where, like, the last turn does feel like the most likely time somebody is going to go for the lunge. Kind of like a shame. Oh, Bertrand Barrier off track. Join in 4th place safely, but there goes the podium chance.
I heard that Martin Edmonds drives so fast that you wish he didn't drive so fast.
And Martin is going to be your winner here at the season finale, ahead of Sambal Steve and Tobias Thirolf. Magic Cash check. Driving around with a beat up car for a while. Bertrand Barrier and Dennis Johnson rounding off the top 5. Cash check will bring it home in 6th place ahead of Mauricio Delgado and Scott. Let them finish up and we'll run down the championship here in a moment. Is Scott Nick, the last place car. And across the line he goes. So championship speaking, Tobias Theroff wins this championship by 11 points over Martin Edmonds, 214 to 203. Magic Kazchuk in 3rd, followed by Bertrand Barrier and James Butler. That is your top 5. And then rounding off the top 10, Sambala Steve, Scott Nick, John Barker, Anthony Willis, and Vic Vega.
Victor Vega.
Byron, do you have any final thoughts for the Koenigsegg and the Lausitzring, which hopefully we won't see for a little bit?
I always wanted to be a Gregorian monk, but I never got the chance.